The sun has just risen, and what that means for me is garden work. Before I shower and shave, I'm pulling weeds in the garden when it's nice and low temperature and all the weeds come out easily. I'm able to grow plants like these. I use a lot of basil and tomatoes, so I have a lot of those. I also found out that you can grow pineapple in Los Angeles. So I have 3 pineapple plants, avocados, ginger, onions, and artichokes and dragon fruit. They're very easy to grow in my climate. Right now I'm going to talk about pollination. In this retainer clip, I have what's called a mason bee. It's not your typical bee. They're very safe. Even if you have children or pets, they don't disturb you. The only one of them that has the stinger is the queen bee. All the males have no stinger and they all have a white spot on the end of their nose. So make sure you know what you're swatting at. Some people mistake them for flies because they're dark in color instead of the golden color. They're totally safe. I'm putting this on my face right next to my eye. And before we continue, I'm going to go back outside in the front yard and release this exactly where I found it, right on the flower I picked it up from. So we'll be back in a few minutes and talk about the rest of these things. And we're back. I'm going to talk about tomatoes, one of my favorite vegetables, along with basil. I use them a lot, along with garlic as well. So I have many varieties of them. I wanted to show this particular one off. It's a bled tomato. Unfortunately, one of the furry little critters that run wild took a little bite out of it or two. So they just borrowed a little mill. I don't despair though, I have a lot of them. They're almost ripe right now. And they did leave a lot of seeds in it. So next year I'll be able to plant this. So no need to get upset about it. There's plenty to go around. Also, you're wondering how you grow pineapple in Los Angeles. It is possible. You want to treat them similarly to a bromeliad. If you like bromeliads, I personally don't grow them, but I do grow 3 kinds of pineapple. They're very easy. Also, if you're an onion fan or garlic fan or ginger fan like I am, they're very easy. Basically, you can see a little sprout growing right here. And what you do is you just plant these in the soil and they'll grow. It's the easiest thing in the world. So just take one of them and plant it, and then you can enjoy the rest of them. One other thing, if you're limited on space, personally I keep gardening in 5 areas of the property. That depends on the sunlight and what you're growing. It's very important to make sure that some of them have just the morning sun, some of them have the western sun, and some of them need full sun. And then others need indirect sun, like reflecting off of a wall is best. I use a upstairs bathroom, a garden window, and then 3 areas on those areas of the property. If you're limited on space, don't despair. As long as you have a window and a table, you can grow at least one of your favorite plants that way. If you have kids, the easiest way to get them started, these are little mini terrariums. You may have seen the most popular one are Venus flytraps, but there are different varieties in these little bulbs and they're easy to get someone started. Also, there's a cactus that resembles a rock. So if you have a rock garden, you can put the rock cactus inside. Kind of looks like you're in the Flintstones era. It's very interesting. Also, we have tons of seeds. You can either grow your own from your vegetables, or you can purchase seeds. Usually when it comes to garden stuff, everything that I'm going to show you only costs $1 or less. What I mean by less is if you wait until Halloween, when they start putting the Halloween items up, you can actually get tools like this for 25 cents because they want to get rid of them to make more room on the shelves for the Halloween items. So a lot of these items only cost 25 cents each. Basil, when it grows quickly, you're going to want to use a wire, which was also $1 for this entire roll. There's 2 colors that it comes in, so you can make it match however you like. And cutters, only $1 as well. When we come back, we're going to talk about cactus. Okay, we're back. First of all, what I'm going to talk about is the 2 really great finds that you can't find anywhere else for just $1. These, even though they're marked at $1.99, they were only actually 25 cents at the end of the season, but I needed them early, so I paid only $1 for them. The other thing is a water meter. Most people who walk by these, they don't really know the purpose of them or what they are. What it does is it tells you when to water certain kinds of plants. I've been gardening for a long time, so I really don't need these. But it also, if you're in a drought area, it also lets passerbys know that you're not overwatering and you're conserving water still. Another thing you'll notice, I work with a lot of cactus. You're probably wondering why I have kitchen tools. These are going to be your best friend. When I work, I usually don't wear gloves. They come in camouflage, which is one of my favorite colors, but I choose not to wear them. If you're picking up cactus with poisonous needles, you want to make sure that you use salad tongs. Just keep a separate set. They're only $1, so you can have as many sets as you want, different kinds and small ones too. Also, you can use them to hold while you're cutting the cactus to replant, to propagate. That works really well. So you'll see also I have a saw for the larger ones and large knives for the big puppies. Also a strainer. This is great if you use landscaping like pea pebbles. You can scoop them up around the cactus, put them in here, and then rinse them off really well. It makes it good to put them back on the top again, and then nobody knows that you've changed anything really. There's also a funnel, and we have the garden green shears and flower cutters and pruners. These are only 25 cents each because I waited till the end of the season, so that was a great value. And then lastly, I'm going to show you the last set of things that I found for just $1 when we return. Finally, we're going to talk about lighting. These are all solar lights. Some are adjustable. They come in many different sizes, so you have to check throughout the season. They change probably every 3 weeks maybe. There'll be a different style, so depending on your taste, you'll be able to find something. Or you can wait till the end of the season and see what's left and then grab a bunch of them. When you do run into ones like this, personally, I buy the whole box. They do a very good job at lighting up. Also, most people don't know that they run on a rechargeable battery inside that is replaceable. You can buy them on the internet, so you don't really have to buy them every year, but you will have to replace the batteries every year or two, depending on how old they are. Another item is, I choose not to use these. They cover the vegetables. I kind of like looking at them, so do a lot of people. If you really have a bird problem or another critter problem, you can use these to disguise it, but if something's hungry, it will find a way to get through it. There's also weed barrier and stakes. Also, depending if you have a front yard that dog walkers will use, you can always put something like this in front of it. It's very safe. Dogs usually won't jump over something like this. Also for your potted plants, we have a little pot stand, and this will be good for tomatoes. I usually just like to use 1 or 2 pieces of wire, but when they get tall, the super tall ones, I use a trellis actually because it supports them. Then you get bigger tomatoes that won't break the branches. Also for your potted plants, I do have a couple of these. It's nice to have a potted plant to put this in and then another hanging one. It adds a nice effect. If you're someone who likes to label, if you can't remember what it is that you're growing, you can always use these stakes to put the names on them. It makes it easier for kids to learn them too. Another thing I like are dragonflies. I see them around the lake all the time, so you'll occasionally find, they come in different colors. I didn't really like the light that these were on, so instead, I bought the bulbs that float in the pond and I glued the dragonfly on top of it. So these light up at nighttime and they charge during the day. Lastly, you always want to make sure you have a tool bag. They do have aprons too. I like getting a little bit dirty because I'll take a shower and shave afterwards. This will hold all the tools inside. You want to make sure that you use a lubricant on them to keep them from getting rusty. I prefer to use olive oil. It's not toxic. That's it for today, so have fun gardening. We'll catch you next time.